Hi, welcome to Tall Guy Rides. And with all of the new bike launches that are coming into the picture, we have the KTM 390 Duke that just launched, we have the Apache RTR 310, we have had bikes from Triumph, and we're expecting the Scrambler to come out again in October. We are kind of missing out a little bit of action in the 250 space, and a very big brand which is staying out of the limelight for some reason, Suzuki, is something that I want to talk about in this video. And with that intent in mind, I have test ridden all of their 250s, which is a part of the segment that's really heating up in the Indian market. And without further ado, let's dive right into it and let's talk about the ergonomic aspect of the 250s that are on offer. That is the Gixxer 250, the Gixxer SF 250, as well as the VStrom 250. And all of this is from the standpoint of tall riders and to see which one is the most comfortable. And I think some of my statements in this video might surprise you. So let's dive right into it. Riding the Suzuki Gixxer 250. First impressions, well, it is a slightly sporty oriented motorcycle. I am fairly well leaned forward, if you can't make that out in the video. Test mule rear brake is not working, but since this channel is not about talking about how the bike is performing, but how the ergonomics are there, so let me talk about that. Now for my 6'4" frame, something unique is happening over here, because in most small capacity bikes the knee recesses are in such a way that taller riders' knees don't fit inside the recesses, and in this case my knees are fitting perfectly, so I'm able to grip the bike really well. Since I want a slightly longer test ride, I want to fill up a little bit of fuel so that it doesn't stall. Talking about the knee recesses, well, a perfect fitment, which is very surprising. In terms of the rider's triangle, my knees are fairly compressed into a tight angle, as you may not be able to see in this, but it's a fairly small angle over here, but it isn't uncomfortable, not yet anyway. I'm used to riding adventure bikes, and there's a cruiser in the family as well, so the knee angle there is much more relaxed. But the way this is set up, I'm pretty happy actually. In terms of the reach down to the handlebar, yes, I do have to reach down. As you can see, my elbows are fairly flexed forward. I don't know what is the other way to describe it, but my arms are pretty straight right now. There isn't much bend in my elbow, and I am sitting kind of upright, so my back is fairly straight. If this had a bit of a riser, well, that would make life a little bit more comfortable and interesting. If somebody who is 6'2", 6'3", or maybe even a little bit taller, 6'5", 6'6", is considering this as a daily commuter option, I think they will be fairly happy with the overall ergonomics that the bike has to offer. There isn't any weight on my wrists because it enables you to sit straight up. Your back can be straight, so all of the weight is on your bum, on your thighs,
So there is literally like no weight on my wrist, as you can see. Nice, very nice. I like it in terms of the size of the motorcycle and the price point that the motorcycle comes in. This is definitely a good option for those who want a 250cc naked sports or a naked bike, and for taller riders definitely it has an upvote from my side. Now moving to the SF, the handlebar position with the clip-ons is definitely a lot more committed, but since the tank is the same, the knee recesses are again spot on, very comfy, and the tank is wide enough for you to be able to grab onto the tank with your thighs and keep the pressure off of your wrists. So again, wrists have no weight on them, which is a very good thing. And the tank design is, I mean, hats off to Suzuki for getting that spot on. In terms of the foot peg position, well, the foot peg position is exactly the same again as the Gixxer 250, which is the standard naked model. And I think one thing that I had missed out with the 250, rather the naked, for this, let's just call it the naked versus the sport fed bike, is that the seat on the Gixxer naked is it's slanted, so it kind of wants you to lean forward. And on the naked, with the handlebar ergonomics being what they are, it is kind of uncomfortable because it pushes you forward and the handlebars are fairly high. So if you do lean forward, then it's a odd feeling, especially for somebody my height. At least this is my opinion. Somebody shorter or smaller arms or something might have a different opinion, but what I noticed is that configuration doesn't really work. But on the SF, the overall ergonomics with the seat slanting forward works with the level of commitment that is required for the rider's ergonomics for this bike. I like it far better on the SF because it's more natural, this position. So you are leaning forward, there isn't weight on your wrists, and the seat with its inclined position kind of brings everything together. I think the naked bike required a seat that wasn't inclined towards the rear end, so it doesn't make you want to lean over, whereas on this bike, that feeling of wanting to lean forward is what the bike is all about. And with the clip-ons being set, it's a fairly aggressive but not uncomfortable position. Talking about the VStrom 250, this is far more like it. Very relaxed ergonomics in terms of the handlebar. Nice wide handlebar. A little bit taller would have been better, so it's a little bit taller. You can hold it a little bit more upright, but that's an easy fix with risers these days coming from most bikes. What I like about the VStrom 250 compared to the naked and the SF is the seat. The seat is far more comfortable. It is a flat seat. There is no incline on the seat, so you can really sit upright as you wish. The bike doesn't want you to sit in a particular way. You can lean forward, or you can have a comfortable ADV style seating, like you're sitting on a tall chair. What I think would have been better or could have been better is the foot peg position. I think since the bikes share their frames, the foot peg position on the VStrom is a little bit off for what type of bike it is, which is an ADV road tourer kind of a bike. It is a little bit set very high one, and it's a rear set, so your knees have to pull back for that. So the knee ergonomics, I think, could have been a little bit better for, especially for this format of motorcycle, and this is for, of course, tall riders, because that's what the channel is all about. Shorter riders might have a different opinion, and which is fine. Apart from that, again, the tank design is really nice. The knee recesses are perfect, the knees fit in well, and I can at least hold the tank very securely with my thighs, and that helps me take off all of the weight off of my wrists, making it a very comfortable situation. So all in all, I think for taller riders, VStrom 250 is a better bet, and things would have been even better if the foot pegs were positioned a little bit further forward and a little bit lower. I'm not sure if there are some modifications that can be done to get that taken care of, but if you don't want the VStrom 250 for your commutes, I would suggest getting the SF. I know it's a fairly controversial statement, because fully fed bikes with a slightly more committed position, probably people expect that not to be a good commuter kind of a spec, but I think that was the best fit in terms of the ergonomics for the foot pegs, the ergonomics of the tank, and the handlebars position. So that kind of clued in everything together, and that is a better option between the naked and the SF. And well, if you like the naked, then naked is always something that you can pick up, but I personally do not endorse that one for taller riders, because the ergonomics are a little bit off in terms of comfort, seating position. The fairing one was the best suited, even though it is a more committed position. The bike is more naturally inclined towards that position. So with that, I conclude my thoughts on the VStrom 250.
So I hope you found this video informative and interesting. If there's any questions that you'd like to ask me about my riding experience of the three 250s from Suzuki, drop a comment, or preferably even ping on Instagram. DM me there. I'm usually more active there than on YouTube. So with that said, thanks for watching, and hopefully drop in a like and a subscribe. That will really help the channel. Bye.